Pena is suing Stacy Wise in the amount of $650. Ms. Pena claims Ms. Wise failed to repay her for an airline ticket after the defendant agreed to join her on a trip to Chicago. Ms. Wise says she never asked Ms. Pena to purchase the ticket for her because she never made a final commitment to go on the trip, so she shouldn't have to pay.
All right, friends in court on opposite sides. You're suing your friend Stacy for $650. Tell me what happened. And why couldn't you all work this out?
Well, we had recently planned a trip to Chicago for a long weekend. I got a great deal on one of those travel websites, and when I first told Stacy about it, she was absolutely excited about it. So I said, okay, cool, let's do it. But
what was your reaction when she first talked to you about the trip?
I absolutely wanted to go.
Okay, all right. So this is a trip you all are talking about going to Chicago, and what happened?
Well, then she said that she needed to check with her boyfriend and see if it was okay with him if she can go on the trip.
So why was it necessary for you to check with your boyfriend?
Now, it wasn't necessary that I checked with him to make sure that I can go. I wanted to make sure he didn't have any prior, obligations for me or wanted to see me because we don't live in the same state. He lives in Miami, I live in New York, and if it's an opportunity for me to see him, I'm going to see him. So I thought she would understand that.
All right, so your attitude about this was, okay, check with him, or you thought that was ridiculous, or what did you think?
Right, so I said, yeah, absolutely, go ahead and check with him. I went ahead and I put our trip on hold. It was a 24-hour hold, so we needed to hurry up and either pay for it or not, because then we were going to lose the whole trip and we were not going to go. So it was, I put it on hold, and it was the next day, and she still hadn't gotten back to me. And I was like, okay, well, time is ticking, and I went back on the website to see if we still had our trip, and all the Chicago trips were disappearing. So I went ahead and I called her, and I said, hey, have you spoke to Jimmy yet? Jimmy is her boyfriend, and who also happens to be a pro football player, right?
Okay.
And she says, no, I haven't spoke to him yet. And I said, why? Well, he hasn't texted me back. It's been about 24 hours.
Okay, so at this point, what did you all decide to do about the trip, Stacy? Tell me.
So this is the problem, is that when she asked me, do I want to go, I said yes. Like I said before, that does not mean that I'm wanting to go on the exact weekend that I'm just telling you I need my boyfriend to call me back. Like, that's it. She wasn't understanding that. All she heard was yes. So she was moving forward with that. Granted, he hasn't called me back. Like, that's what was happening. And when he did call me back, I just, I gave her her response.
And what was the response?
That he wanted to fly me out to Miami to see him because he was free for that weekend. Like, he has a lot he's doing. He works out with, he works out every day. He goes and helps with charity. So it's like, if he wants me to come down and I'm free, then I'm going.
All right, so, but something happened between you deciding to go to Miami to see your boyfriend and Vera making plans for this trip. There's something missing. Something missing in here. Tell me what happened, and I'll give you a chance.
She had already told me yes, right? So I called her and I was like, okay, well, do you want to go or not? And what did you say? You said yes. Yes, so I already have her information. I know her birthday. And the day before, she had already given me the proper spelling of her full name, right? And I said, okay, you say yes, I'll handle it. She already had told me she needed my help to pay for the trip because she had maxed out her credit card.
Oh, wait, that's an important, wait. That's an important piece of the story.
Yeah.
So she needed your help to pay for it because she had maxed out her credit card.
I was going to give her cash, Your Honor.
You were going to give her cash?
Yeah, she's leaving out that part. I asked her because I did max out my credit cards, and I told her that I would be able to give her cash for the trip.
Okay, all right, so then what happens?
So that's what she said. So she says, okay, if we go on this trip, I need you to help me out. I said, cool, girl, I got you, right? You're my friend. I've known you for a few years now, and I trusted her, right? And sure enough, I booked the trip, and she calls me 2 hours later telling me that, oh, Jimmy finally got back to her.
But when in the story,
Jimmy finally got back to her.
Go on this internet
and now she can't go.
And book this trip. That never came out of my mouth at all.
You said
so
yes.
You jumped the gun. At this point, this is what I'm thinking, Your Honor.
Girl.
She basically wants anybody to go on this trip.
No.
She needs half of the money to go on this trip, and so she's hounding me. I told her at the end of the
Wait just a second. Don't talk over each other.
At the end of the day, I have to wait for my boyfriend to contact me. She does not have a boyfriend, Your Honor. So I'm starting to think that this is where it's deriving from. Like, soon as I got with him, I met him about like 5 or 6 months ago. I didn't tell her that he was a professional athlete. As soon as I told her that, then she's, oh my goodness, he's not right for you. He's probably lying. There's probably other women. It's like, you're my friend. You keep throwing out this friend, but every time we talk, you're badgering me. You're badgering my boyfriend. I'm in love with him. Like, that's what it is. You don't have a boyfriend, so you cannot understand. You won't be able to understand.
Girl.
Coming up.
Are you jealous of the relationship she has?
No,
Yes.
absolutely not. I mean, if her boyfriend can't get back to her within 24 hours, I mean,
And
what
who
does
can
that
get back to
say?
you? When do people
What
get
does
back
that
to you?
say? Girl, we're not talking about me.
Yeah,
We're talking
but-
about the fact that your man can't get back to you, your so-called man.
He did get back to me.
No.
You were just upset because
And
it
more
wasn't
like
in your time
passing
frame.
24
but when he got-
hours? Are you
Yeah.
serious, girl? You
Things
should have just
happen.
gave me the phone and I would have
Things
called
happen.
him.
That would have been a negative.
No.
Woo! All right. Enough.
But this is my friend, please.
So you
Supposed
had
to
booked
be.
it.
Yes.
Then a few hours later, she calls you back and says, I'm going to Miami. I can't go to Chicago. And then what happened?
I was furious. So I said, okay, well, you don't have to go with me, but you will pay me back. And she says, pay you back for what? I said, for half of the money that I spent on this trip for us. And she says, I never agreed to it. You said yes.
That is not a binding agreement. What do you mean?
You knew when we were
I
going.
said, yes, I want to go
She
to
knew what
Chicago. That's a
weekend.
broad statement.
But she knew what weekend we were going. We discussed the dates. We said, okay, we're going to go this particular weekend. And she said, okay, knowing that she still had to check up with her boyfriend, she said yes to me before he got back to her.
You said I'll handle it. That does not mean that you're going
I'll
to go
handle it.
online
I got
and
you,
book
girl.
this.
I'll put it on my
Well,
credit card.
did she say, I'll handle it?
Yes.
She said,
I said,
I'll
I'll
handle
take
it.
care of it. I'll handle it.
How broad is that, Judge? I'll handle it. That
I'm
means,
going to have some tea behind this.
yeah,
Hold on
like,
just
can
a
I
second.
have some? Because she's really like
Oh, girl. cut
not
it
making
out.
any sense. You
Cut
said
it
you'll
out.
handle it. That means that you could be going online to look for other deals.
That means I have
that
her
you could
back.
be sending me other dates. That can mean anything. It does not mean
No,
that you're
I
gonna.
don't think so. If you all had talked about a specific date and you say, yes, I'm in, she says, okay, I'm going to handle it, I think that's reasonable for her to rely on that. I
But
do.
even though I say yes, I do want to go, but I have to wait for my boyfriend to call me back, text me back, just get any type of communication. You're gonna go through and process the trip.
So did you all have a conversation? So you said you had a conversation with her, and you said, it's been 24 hours. What's the deal? What did she say?
She just said, oh, I'm still waiting for Jimmy. And I was like, still waiting for Jimmy? Ah, how long does it take for him to reply
But
to you?
did she tell you that she couldn't go on the trip until she heard from Jimmy?
She said, I asked, do you want to go? She says, yes, but I have to wait for Jimmy. And then when we spoke again that day after I had already booked the flight, she says, oh, not the day, when I put it on hold and I called her the next day,
Right.
she says, oh, I asked, do you want to go or not? Because at this point, I'm like, girl, we're just going back and forth. We're not going to do anything.
This is the critical point. And what did she say?
She says, yes. That's what she said. You said yes.
I do want to go on the trip, but I have to wait for my boyfriend
No,
to contact me.
at this point, she never brought Jimmy back up. She just says yes. I asked, do you want to go or not? And you said yes.
I still don't think that validates you
She
processing
said
your credit
yes,
card.
so
I think
have
it
the
does.
info.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does. I think it was reasonable at that point because she gave you one more out. You said, you know, girl, I haven't heard from Jimmy. I'm waiting to hear
Judge,
from
she's
him.
pressuring
Wait.
you.
You're a grown woman. I'm waiting to hear from Jimmy. If you need to go on and book this, then I can't go right now because I really need to hear from Jimmy. But when she said, do you want to go or not, and she's got to book it, and you said yes, then I think that that's it. I mean, I think that this is reasonable for her to rely on.
Yeah.
It's $650 worth of friendship.
Absolutely not. I definitely didn't think that we would even be here today. Like, I did not think this was going to
Yeah.
escalate to this. I thought that I didn't have to go tit for tat. When I told her in the previous conversations, which was a day, that I cannot confirm this until I speak to my boyfriend, I didn't think that I had to reiterate that.
What's going to happen between the two of you? What's going to happen?
Well, she needs to pay me back because she agreed to go on this trip, and obviously she didn't go. Whatever. I didn't need her to go. I still went, but she needs to pay me for that because she agreed to go.
Are you all still friends?
I mean,
Barely.
this was my like sister. Like I said, my mom loves her to death, and she should have just
I
came.
love her too.
You know, but
Things happen, though.
like you can't. you gonna let this dude just like get in between us?
And are you gonna let this dude get in between us?
I mean, because you're allowing it. You just let
the thing
you
is
going
that
with
you
it.
don't, like, the problem is you don't have anybody. So it's like, me and you don't. Me and you were buddy, kicking it every day. Go get some drinks, go get some food. But
Why
now
not?
that I have somebody, then you think it's jumping. But I look at it as, this is my mate, and I want to see him when I want to see him.
And that's
And you
cool,
don't accept
but
that.
don't
Before you
cancel
knew
on family,
before you knew he was a
girl.
professional athlete, you didn't have any problem with
Don't
this.
cancel on family, girl.
You haven't
And you
canceled
know
on
what?
family
I'm young
ever?
and beautiful. I don't need to be tied down right now.
Oh, Lord.
So-
That's everybody's excuse when they don't have
Girl,
somebody.
please.
All right, with that, I'm going to enter judgment for the plaintiff with $650.
Thank you.
So ordered. Case dismissed.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $650.